Good afternoon, it's Rich. I just wanted to put this very short video together for you. The first thing you can do is download the HR dataset, right? So I'm just going to assume that you've already had that downloaded. You should have a single CSV file. The CSV file is V14 now, as of October 28th, 2024. So you can use that version, it's totally fine. You will also want this test data set as well. And just hold on to that, save that. That usually goes down into my downloads folder. So just hold on to that, you won't need it right away. Make sure you review Logistic Regression. I'll do that first. And once you have the basic model set up with Orange, I'm going to pull that over onto the screen in just a second, then everything starts to fall into place pretty well. So a couple of steps involved. Importing file node to import the data. So I'll do that first. What you can do is either drag the CSV file import or the file import, doesn't matter, because I do give you a CSV file, so I'll use that. Double click and use these ellipses to grab the data set. Okay, when you grab the data set, you should have the import options. All of this stuff up top should be just fine. Just give it a quick check to make sure that everything looks like it lines up okay. And you can just scroll down and see the data. Okay, so click OK there. 311 rows, 35 features. 35 features is just the same thing for fields or columns. Data scientists call them features. That's why they use that word here in this Orange data mining tool. There is metadata in here too. Don't worry about that so much. And click X. So you have your data loaded, then you can do a whole bunch of things once the data is in there. Step 2 over here is select columns. So we only need a few columns in the analysis. So somewhere around here should be a select columns. We can use this node, and you can just click it once. And then you just drag from the output of the loader into the input of the next node. Double click select columns. And one of the things that happens is just automatically assumes that you want all of them. You really don't want all of them. So move these back. And you only really want salary, department, sex, and performance score. And then I need a target variable named term D. So target variable, I just need to find term D, put that over there. And then I need salary, department. So let me go through and do that. Salary, department, sex and performance score, sex and performance score. Okay, so one of the interesting things about logistic regression, or regression in general, is that it does need numeric data to process, to run the calculations. And you have one column already that's numeric, but then you have these other categorical variables that you need to convert into numeric. So we do that by, Orange calls it continuize. Data scientists sometimes call it one-hot encoding, which essentially takes every unique value from a categorical variable and transforms that into new columns. And within each of those new columns, you'd have a 1 or 0. So let's do that. Let's continuize the categorical variables. One of the things you can do, you can just close that out. One of the things you can do just to help yourself out, there's this data table node up here. You can drag that and you can select an output and drag it in there. double click the data table, and just to have a view of what things look like right now. This is gray on the left because that's our target variable, by the way. This light beige color, brown color, whatever you want to call that, that is just your metadata. And as you can see, you have the 3 columns that are categorical. We need to convert those to numbers. So we have continuize. So I need to find continuize down here. Here it is. Drag that right over there. You can click and drag, or just double click, or just single click rather. And I can drag this from here to here. Continuize. And it's going to ask you what you want to do. So department, we can, let us see, one hot and code. Okay. For sex, we'll also want hot and code. Performance score, we should probably do the one hot and code as well. And we'll leave the other ones alone. Keep as is. Term D, we will keep that. Okay. Okay. So now if I take that data table again, I can create another one and drag that up here. I should be able to see what that continuize node does. And I just scroll across, I can see lots of zeros and ones. This is good, that's what you want to see. We have salary there. Okay. Okay, so that takes care of the categorical. Make sure we follow this. Categorical features 1 attribute per value. One attribute. So since this was written 1 attribute per value, that would be the one hot and code. Okay. So that's the equivalent. So don't get hung up on that. That's definitely one hot encoding. Leave the other ones as they are, and we should be good there. Okay, next we want to create a test and score node. So test and score gives us the results of the regression, which we don't have yet, but there's a reason why I want you to put the test and score first. That is under model. I'm sorry, that's under evaluate, right? Test and score. So the idea is the test and score widget needs, if I just leave my mouse over or hover over this node, it says inputs, data, test data, learner, and preprocessor. So I need the data. I can take that right from the continuize, put the data in there, and then I can add a logistic regression. I want to move that. This is kind of how I organize things. I can move this down here and just attach that node up to test and score, and then you should see something real quick happen. And once that happens, you will get some, or should get some results here: classification, accuracy, area under the curve, precision, recall. These are basically my evaluation metrics, right? And so without kind of going into too much detail right now, just this is really the basic setup of your basic linear, logistic regression.